We're glad to have you here today. We have been talking about the American Revolution this time with our Unity of Inquiry, how we organize ourselves. And so, I'm going to let the students take over from here. They voted to do this little presentation for you. And so, we're just gonna go ahead and begin right now, okay? Starting with Maggie.
Welcome to our learning celebration. Today you will get the chance to see and hear some of the great things we've learned this term. We have decided to perform a short skit for you on the American Revolution. I hope you enjoy.
Who in this class know why we speak English?
Well, the 13 original colonies were settled by colonists from Great Britain, right? The colonists left England to go to America to find new jobs and adventure.
So how did these colonists become Americans? How did the 13 original colonies become part of the United States?
I can help answer these questions. It's all thanks to the American Revolution.
It's George Washington. Were you part of the Revolution?
Yes, I was, and so many others. Let's go back to 1754, the start of the French and Indian War.
In the French and Indian War, we battled the French for American land. France had to leave in 1763, and we won the war after 9 years of fighting.
I helped lead some of these British troops in the war. During this time, I learned a lot about how British soldiers felt nervous.
After the war, colonists were eager to get back to their normal lives.
It wasn't easy though.
Who are you?
I'm George Grenville. I was a treasurer in the British Parliament, and after the war, Great Britain was in a lot of debt. That meant that Great Britain needed a lot of money.
The war must have been very costly.
It was very costly indeed. My plan was to raise taxes in the colonies in order to help ease the debt.
The problem was that we, the colonists, had no say in the matter. The British Parliament raised our taxes even though we were the ones that had to fight in the war.
This is called taxation without representation. The colonists were not able to vote on these extra taxes.
I then became Prime Minister, and I had the power to make the colonists pay even more taxes.
One of the false taxes was called the Sugar Act. The Prime Minister put an extra tax on sugar, coffee, and indigo. Many merchants were very upset with these taxes and had no say in how much they were taxed. Another tax was a stamp tax. Every newspaper and official document had to have a stamp to cost the colonists extra money. That is so unfair. Did the colonists tell Parliament how they felt?
Benjamin Franklin helped us with that.
I traveled to England in 1766 and talked to the Parliament. I told them that Americans were the ones that had to fight in the French and Indian War. We lost many soldiers in the war. These extra taxes will not lie.
Meanwhile, in America, some colonists decided to form a group called the Sons of Liberty. This group boycotted the use of British products and had public protests. They also sent petitions to Parliament on voicing their concerns.
I became the new Prime Minister of England. After hearing these concerns, we took away the stamp tax. It worked. Not for long. Parliament decided to tax the colonists again in 1773. A new tax was placed on tea, paper, and glass. Great Britain made sure that the Americans had no other choice but to only purchase these goods from England. Americans had to buy tea from the East India Company according to the Tea Act. This really hurt the businesses of the tea merchants in America. We became very upset. The colonists decided to boycott all English goods, including tea, glass, paper, and clothes. The Sons of Liberty made another appearance led by me, Samuel Adams. We disguised ourselves as Native Americans, and when tea was imported to Boston on December 16, 1773, we boarded the ships and dumped all the tea in the harbor. This was known as the Boston Tea Party. This put even more tension on the relationship between the British and the Americans. Parliament said the colonists were no longer allowed to have meetings without permission. They thought this would stop the rebellious Americans from making plans against them. In order to still discuss plans for a revolution, 56 colonists formed the First Continental Congress. I, John Adams, was a part of this Congress. Our job was coming up with a way to solve the growing problem. We continued to motivate American colonists to boycott British goods.
I was king at the time of the Revolution. I felt the American rebels needed to be stopped.
Great Britain decided to fight back against the rebels. Parliament sent military troops to America, and on April 19, 1775.
Didn't a man on a horse warn the colonists?
The British are coming. The British are coming.
Paul Revere.
It was my job to alert the colonists at Lexington and Concord once I saw the redcoats. I was captured, but the American soldiers had enough time to prepare themselves and fight back.
For years, there were many battles between the Americans and British.
I became commander of the army, but Great Britain's military was very powerful. America had suffered many defeats.
It was then that America decided to declare its own independence.
How did you do that, Thomas Jefferson?
I wrote the Declaration of Independence, which declared the 13 original colonies independent from Britain's laws.
This is why we celebrate with fireworks on the 4th of July.
And indeed it is. The Declaration of Independence was announced and published on July 4th, 1776.
Great Britain still fought back. The American army needed help, so they traveled to France and asked King Louis XVI for assistance. I was King of France at the time. After the French and Indian War, I was not happy with Great Britain. When Benjamin Franklin asked for my support and help in America fight the British, I was eager to send military aid. Why enjoy the Americans to fight against Great Britain? No other country would help England in the American Revolution. England started to lose the war after the French allied with America because many other countries, such as Spain, also sided with the Americans.
Finally, on October 19, 1781, the British surrendered at Yorktown, and the war was over, and America had won.
On September 3rd, 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed. British recognized the independence of the United States of America. The United States went through a lot of trouble in order to separate from King George III.
Yes, and now the Americans could finally write laws for themselves. That's the story of the American Revolution.
We are proud to be Americans.